Today we're speedrunning every ending in FNAF Security Breach, and we're doing it glitchless. Well, as glitchless as you can for this game. Now our speedrun's gonna start as soon as we see Freddy in the mirror, and then he's gonna figure out we're inside of him. Yeah, it's pretty weird. And that is going to be one of the very few times we're actually inside of Freddy, because for most of this stream we're gonna be outside of him since it's faster. But one thing you might notice at the beginning is we don't have the skip on with Freddy where we turn all the voices off, which lets you skip through all this stuff, and that's because that's a glitch. So yeah, we do have to listen to this very long dialogue. But finally, after way too long, we get the Faz watch, which will let us communicate with Freddy. And finally, we can click this button and actually leave. So yeah, 2 minutes in and we finally actually get to start the speedrun. So what we want to do is go inside this vent. And yeah, we're pretty much just venting for a while. We got to run through it, which takes a little bit, but we get to get introduced to all the characters like Roxy. Well, actually, she's the only one that talks, but there's also Monty and Chica. And finally, after running for a while, we're going to pop outside the vent. And first of all, we want to get one of the collectibles. And that's because we're doing all endings, and to get the VIP ending, we need a total of 40 different collectibles. So that's going to be a Pizzaplex logo shirt, and now we can actually go on to our mission. And what you're seeing me doing right now is bunny hopping. The purpose of bunny hopping is to preserve our stamina. We don't do it too often through the run, but we do it in these long sections where we want to preserve our stamina for a bit. And finally, after moving for a bit, we can take the photo pass and go right back to our boy Freddy, who now wants to talk to us for a while again. But finally, we're back inside of him. It's a pretty weird setup we have. I wonder if Gregory can actually see while he's in here, or if we're just looking through what Freddy sees. Like, is Gregory just only seeing darkness? That would be terrifying. But anyways, we now have to get outside of the Pizzaplex, and we're gonna use Freddy to help us with that, because as long as we're in Freddy, we're completely safe. But we also see that Vanessa, the security guard, is trying to find us. Now, we don't want to get captured by Vanessa at all, so we got to make sure she doesn't. But here's where something unlucky happens, where Freddy sees that we're broken, and he doesn't realize that I'm speedrunning right now, so he decides to take me over to the first aid tent. And we don't even get any first aid. We're just gonna pop in there and hide. And all we do at this point is see Vanessa talk to Freddy. Like, dude just wanted to waste my speedrun time. But finally, after a while, she's gonna leave. We're gonna go back into Freddy, not patched up at all. Like, that literally accomplished nothing. But whatever, we're back on our way out. And at this point, we're kind of just walking below the Pizzaplex. Then we can head up some stairs. And finally, once we make it to this area, Freddy decides to kick us out because he doesn't have enough battery, and we gotta go on our own feet. And because of that, we have to escape a bunch of animatronics. What we're gonna do for this first one at Chica is we're gonna use a distraction. Then we can crouch down and still sprint while you're crouching so she doesn't notice us. That's going to be the first animatronic done, and we can start running again. Basically, if you run in front of the animatronics, they will hear you, and they're pretty fast, so we want to be careful about that. We'll go between that. We'll run a little bit longer, making sure to get rid of all of our stamina when we see Monty, since we'll recover it during that little cutscene. After that, we're going to do some sprint jumping, just preserving our stamina as much as possible, especially because Monty is very slow, so it doesn't even matter. You could walk and Monty probably wouldn't catch up to you. But then Chica also comes by, so literally everybody is trying to attack me right now. But all we got to do is make it up some stairs and go into a security office, which is basically one of the safe spaces. It keeps us safe from the animatronics, but you can only stay in here for a while because soon the battery is going to run out. And you can see Monty just pounding on the door like an idiot. Yeah, we're not fans of Monty in this game. We'll never forgive him for killing Bonnie. Now, after a while, we're going to get the Pizzaplex cameras, which allow us to see everything going on, but we're not really going to use it much. I mean, it's there. It's just like, it's not going to help us go fast, especially when we already know how to deal with the animatronics. Like right here, we can just take the right path, go through those doors, and now we're at the entrance. Unfortunately though, right when we make it to the entrance, the Pizzaplex is going to close. It closes down all the doors, and now we can't get out. So what we want to do now is some more bunny hopping over to the present, which is going to give us an entry pass, and that's going to allow us to go deeper into the Pizzaplex. Now in this first little area, the only animatronic we have to worry about is Chica, and we don't really care at this point if she sees us or not, so we're actually going to make her see us. I mean, she probably won't catch us. And we can see she's kind of just behind us right now, which is a little terrifying, but as long as we're fast enough, she won't be able to catch up to us. I'm just going to check behind me, make sure that everything is fine, and we'll run down this section until we make it over to this present, and that's going to give us a Mr. Hippo magnet. Yeah, for some reason Gregory says it's lame. I think it's pretty cool. But now we have to go to the other section. Chica is still going around the halls though, and at this point we really don't want her to see us, so I'm just making sure she's all the way on the other side. I don't know how she got there that fast, but now we can go through here, making sure we don't get caught by the security bot, and find another present within this kitchen, which is going to give us the Glam Chica plush. So at this point, we just got to head downwards, go over to this place, put in our complimentary entry ticket, and it eats our pass. So Freddy recommends trying the magnet we found. And yeah, now we've hacked the upgrade machine and we got what we needed. So at this point, we can go into the daycare. But Chica is chasing fast behind us, so we got to make sure she doesn't murder us. At the very least though, we get to one of the most fun parts of this video game, the daycare. Now, once in the daycare, we immediately see all the stuff from both Sun and Moon, and that's because that's the animatronic that's in charge of this place. You can see he's a pretty cool guy. So we'll run forward a bit and get jump scared right here, but it's not a jump scare. I mean, it's a nice jump scare. He's such a friendly guy, and he won't let us leave. So what we want to do is distract him, and they're always going to focus on the distraction instead of ourselves. So we can go around at this point and get a level 2 security badge, which lets us go to more places, as well as get a flashlight. And after a little bit, Sun is going to come up, and because for some reason the power turned off, he's going to transform into Moon, which, by the way, we do have to watch these cutscenes, because while I did say the category is glitchless, they can't actually call it that, and instead they call it skipless, and unfortunately that does include not skipping the cutscenes. So yeah, it's basically no intended glitches, and also don't do any skips. But anyways, at this point, what we're going to do is knock down one of those, and that's going to make it so Moon goes over towards there, and we don't have to worry about him, and we can start turning on the generators. Now, in the updated version, I actually didn't realize this, but they made it easier. You can see that all the lines to the generators are now color coded, so that would have been really nice when I was speedrunning this game all the way 2 years back. But you know, it is what it is. That's going to be generator number 2. Now we can start going down here. We can see the green wire leading us right over to generator 3, where we pop out on that side. Moon is finally starting to clean up the mess we made, and we can get generator 4. And yeah, with this whole setup, there is no way that Moon's going to touch us. So finally, we can go over to the yellow one and get generator 5, which is going to turn on the light. That means that Sun is back. And now another little jump scare warning, kind of, not really, but Sun's going to be mad at us, ban us from the daycare. And yeah, that's unlucky because I really liked him. I mean, I didn't want to get banned, but I guess it happens. And at this point, we can go back inside of Freddy because there's going to be Chica who's going to rub her face against us, trying to murder us. So yeah, pretty good start so far, especially because for this speedrun, my goal is to get it deathless. This is a long, like 2-hour speedrun, so there is a lot we have to be careful about and not die to. Anyways, at this point, now we're going to go through this door and we're going to go into the recharge station while we see Vanny. Yeah, Vanny is kind of just skipping there. Good for her, which is going to freak out Gregory, but Freddy has no idea what he's talking about. Finally, after talking for way too long, we can exit out of Freddy. We also see that it's 1 a.m. now, and what we want to do is head over to this present, which we're going to pick up, and that's going to be a Sun plush. Looking pretty cool. Then we also want to head over to this bathroom amongst all the lag. Yeah, by the way, if it does lag, it's probably not your video, it's just the game. This game really does like lagging a lot, and there's not too much we can do about that. Anyways, that's going to be another present right there, and now we can head over to the elevators. Basically, different areas are gated off based on how good your security badge is, and since we got level 2 of Sun, now we can access more. And of course, once we get out, it's time for the Mapbot jump scare, where Mapbot really wants us to take his map, and of course we're gonna take him because he's just such a nice guy. Thanks so much, Mapbot, I love you. Anyways, we're heading over to the Chica area, or I guess I can't really call it a Chica area, one of the many Chica areas. But we also want to make sure these staff bots don't attack us. Basically, if they find us, then they're gonna call one of the animatronics over, and we obviously don't want that. But now we're venting again because Gregory just loves doing it. I would be way too terrified to do this. These vents are scary. At least they give us lights for some reason. But here's another kind of jump scare right there where we see this really ugly guy. Yeah, I almost feel bad for him. But anytime we go inside the vents, he's going to start chasing after us. But it's pretty easy to outrun him. And then we can slide down this area, which we just have a really fun time sliding all the way down. And now we're going to do our first save. Even though I am going for a deathless run, I'm also realistic. So I'm going to save in a few different points and also get the Fizzy Faz Freddy. But in this area, it is now time to deal with Chica. What we can do is use our light to get her to come over to us, and then we're just going to juke her out. And one thing about this game is if you're on a slightly elevated surface, then the animatronics lose track of you. So because I went on this table, Chica has no idea where I am, and we're just completely fine. Yeah, we're going to be using that a lot, so that's pretty cool. Anyways, now it's time to get another security badge. But anytime you get a security badge, the animatronics are going to find you. So yeah, we're trapped in here while Chica's trying to murder us. But thankfully, we can deal with Chica by using the pizza bot. So what we get to do for the pizza bot is go and make a pizza. We're going to start out with the sauce, which the sauce kind of looks disgusting, but that's fine. I mean, Chica loves pizza. Next, we're going over to the cheese, and I mean, it looks a little bit better than the sauce. And now it's time for the meat. We can just go set that stuff down. And finally, the non-meat, which is just not meat. Not sure what it is, but it's something. So finally, after all of that stuff onto our pizza, we can head over and bake it, which is going to take a while. So while it does happen, I like going and checking on Chica. She's looking good. But now we can take our pizza out of the oven, and we just wait here for a second. Now, finally, after a little bit, Chica is going to show up, and she's like, pizza. And yeah, she's gonna eat some pizza. So yeah, there we go. Now we can get another save point because again, might as well be safe. And we're gonna head down. At this point, we have to head past Chica. So it's another one of these points where we're gonna have to crouch sprint, I'm gonna stop right here. We can start crouching. We can see Chica. She's looking good as she's eating her pizza, and we make it over to the loading dock. But unfortunately, it's another place where we can't actually exit yet. Yeah, this game just loves giving us these areas where we can't do anything. They give us hope, and then they say no. Now Freddy wants us to come back, but Chica is right there. Now what we want to do is actually get her to come towards us, and we have to juke her right here. So what I'm gonna do is just run over to the right, do a little circle, make sure Chica doesn't find me, and she's gonna teleport. So she just teleports a lot because for some reason these animatronics teleport, and once you make it to a certain area, they're gonna teleport to the next. So now she's going to be over in this section, and yeah, this just doesn't make any sense at all. But what we want to do is juke her out one more time, be able to make it past her. You can hear her running behind us, and we are kind of terrified, but we should be fine. Because as long as we outrun her enough, we should be okay. And now before we go over to the atrium, we want to go and get another present, which is going to be the Glam Roxy plush, before we see another Mapbop jump scared, followed by a white woman jump scare. Yeah, that's just what the community calls it. Or at least my Twitch community. One of the two. So now we get to see Vanessa on the TV. She's like, oh, I caught you. You're never going to escape. But she's also not the smartest person in the world. So she also left a screwdriver in here, and we can just use that. Yeah, we're just going to escape. I don't know what she was thinking. But now we also have Vanny after us. Luckily, the thing about Vanny is you barely ever see her in the entire game. I think we're going to see her like one more time in the speedrun. She just doesn't show up. I don't know why. She must hate us. Anyways, that was a very easy section, and now we can make it out of here. We'll just go straight over to the elevator, and we start hearing a message from Freddy. Apparently, Freddy's kind of injured or something. I don't know. He just seems lazy. And now we have to head over to Roxy Raceway to help out Freddy. There's some robots just kind of chilling, but they're pretty easy to pass by. And after a bit, we can head into Roxy Raceway. But before we actually go and rescue Freddy, we do want to turn the corner to the right and get another gift, which is going to be the Roxy balloon. Now we see a bot is right there, but we don't really care about getting caught, so I'm just going to jump right on top of these boxes and go towards Freddy. Don't worry, Freddy, I'll talk to you in a second, but first I got to get some presents. Look, what's more important, collectibles or Freddy's lives? I think we all know what it is. That's going to be a Roxy mask, and then we're also going to ignore Freddy again to go over into this corner, and we're going to get a frozen Roxy treat. Then we're going to completely ignore Freddy. He's trying to talk to us. He's complaining like, please, Gregory, help me out. Meanwhile, we tell him, is there anything I can do? And then don't hear his answer. Look, I already know what I have to do to help Freddy. It's not like he's that important. So now we have this section where we have to dodge Roxy. Now, Roxy's a very scary animatronic because she is very fast. So what we want to do is just not let her see us at all. What I'm going to do is wait for that staff bot to go by, walk through over here, and continue on my way. Now we can see that Roxy is over to the right. She's kind of just creeping. And finally, once we make it to this area, we can start running again. This part is a very scary part for me. I have lost friends to this before, but there's no way for Roxy to actually come after us unless one of these staff bots sees us. So as long as we're playing this kind of safe, making sure this guy doesn't see us, so we should be fine. I'm gonna wait him out, hide for a little bit. Usually I never use hiding spots, but I just want to make sure he doesn't murder us. We'll see this guy. I can just go straight past them because they can only see where their flashlight is. And then we can head in this door where there's going to be another gift. That's going to be an El Chip Pinata, and we just gotta wait out our boy. He thinks he's doing something, but I can slide right past him over to this door. Then we can wait for him to move out of the way. Thank you very much. Then there's going to be this guy coming up, but we can just go past him. He's going to do his little circle, and he actually catches me. So that's kind of unlucky, but like I said in the past, as long as we're on a slightly elevated surface, they don't see us. And no, this isn't classified as a glitch. It's just kind of funny. But anyways, yeah. That was an easy way to escape Roxy. And now we can head inside of this door where there's going to be another gift. That's going to be the Glam Chica figure. And I don't even care about getting caught at this point, so I wasn't worrying about that robot at all. And finally, we make it over to this stage where there's going to be the backstage pass. We can pick it up with this present right there. And now it's finally time to help out Freddy. But first, we have a mini game, and this certainly is a mini game. So what we want to do is use our backstage pass to get through here, go through these doors, and get another security badge upgrade. And finally, after a bit, Freddy's like, oh yeah, I'll come to you, don't worry. But there's also both Monty and Roxy pounding on the doors, so we're gonna have to deal with them. And then also Vanny comes on the screen for a second. She really likes showing up on these screens, but we never actually see her. Anyways, it's time for this mini game where we have to see that Freddy is on one of these screens and we let him through. Yeah, he's just really lazy. And we also have to deal with the animatronics on the walls. What we can do is electrocute them. It's pretty messed up that we're just electrocuting these poor guys, but you know, it is what it is. We'll see Freddy's on that screen right there. We'll let him through that one. We'll see that Roxy's on this door, so we'll electrocute her. And yeah, it's basically just this mini game for a while. But finally, after a little bit, that should be the last one we got to get him through. All the screens go to static, and we'll see that Freddy jumps up right beneath us, helps us through, and we don't have to worry about them anymore. So yeah, Freddy did it. He saved us. What a nice guy. Now we're gonna get the opportunity to actually upgrade Freddy, but not before we do some more running, because once we make it out of these hallways, we see that we're now on the main stage, but we have to activate the main stage. And to do that, there's gonna be a bunch of animatronics just going all over the place, and me who has to dodge every single one of them. So we'll start by doing some bunny hopping just through this main hall area, and we see that we have to use the disc that we just found on the sound booth to activate the main stage. So we'll come over here, we'll see that Roxy is over here, and what we want to do is use our flashlight on her a few times. This is going to cause her to come over, then we can use a distraction, and she's going to go towards the distraction, ignoring us. Now we got to head up these escalators, and in this next section there's going to be Chica. Now Chica is a little annoying in this place because she can be in a few different areas, and this is not the one we wanted to see. So what I'm going to do is use that distraction right there, try to get Chica over there, and that was not the greatest teleport in the world. Yeah, this could be bad. Okay, so she is right behind me. Thankfully, when the animatronics do teleport, there is a short amount of time where they just stand there for a second, but we do want to be on the stage. I'm trying to see if she's going to see me. She still does. I don't want to die here. Like I said, we're going for the deathless run, but thankfully there's a slightly elevated surface, so there she goes. And after waiting for just a little bit, she should be getting away, so now we can go back onto the stage, and we'll use the disc that we found right on here, which is going to activate the main stage. We'll also see that Chica just disappears. That's because she gets teleported to the second floor, so now we have to deal with her over there. And Chica can be in a few different places on the second floor. Also, Vanny's like, oh, I'm doing something. No one cares what you're doing, Vanny. But she can be in a few different places. We see that she's right over there. I'm gonna try to distract her, maybe. I don't really know. Yeah, Chica is kind of the worst in this section. I do love Chica in general, but you don't have to be a jerk like this, dude. I guess we'll just try going down this escalator and hope that she loses track of us, which I think she did. All right. I think we're fine. Anyways, I'm going to get this present right here. I hear someone walking, and I do not like that. But that's going to be the Monty Piñata. And now there's going to be Roxy in this place. Thankfully, she's all the way over to the right, so she isn't going to see us. And then there's going to be Monty on the stage as well. He's not in this area, which is good. He's all the way over to the right as well, just kind of doing his prowling. I decided to shine him for a second just to make fun of him. See you later, Monty. And yeah, we're safe again for a very short amount of time, because now it is time for Moon to come back out and attack us again. Hey Moon, how you doing? So like last time, we're gonna have to go hide in a recharge station, and we can just run straight over there. Then once we make it over here, there's gonna be another cutscene we can't skip where Freddy is getting dragged away by Moon. He waves at us. He's a nice guy. So yeah, that's kind of unlucky, and Freddy is even more injured now. Oh, also here's another map-bot jump scare. But to get in that area where he is, we gotta go into this section, which is another one of the scary sections. At least for me, because now we have some pretty scary guys. Or at least the concept behind them is scary. You can see with this guy, he looks at us, and if we're not looking at him, then he's gonna come towards us. But we can make it through the vent. Now we have to deal with the vent guy again. Oh, I love dealing with the vent guy. I mean, he's never gonna catch up to us, but he's kind of annoying. I want to go through the vent slowly. But we make it out through the other side where there's all these trash cans. They look pretty cool. And remember that guy who moves if you don't look at him? Well, now there's gonna be a bunch of them. First, we'll open up this door by pressing these buttons. And one thing I should mention about these buttons is they suck. They are so hard to hit, and it is just not fun at all. What we're gonna have to do right here is turn around, hit the button. Thankfully, I got it first try, but sometimes that button takes like 3 attempts, and it can be really bad when you're dealing with these guys. But now we can head through this hallway, head to the right. There's going to be a couple more of these dudes. I'm just going to look back when I need to recharge my stamina, hit another button, wait for that door to open where we see a dead staff bot. I don't really want to ask what happened with him. And we're going to head into this door. We can press that button, see that it's right over here. And there's going to be another one of these guys right there, but that's going to be the Nightmare plush. And now we can head straight over here, press that button, see that there's a couple guys that are trying to murder me, but we're just going to run straight past them. And yeah, we just want to look back a few times. Oh my gosh, that almost murdered me. Okay, that almost went really badly. That guy was so close to murdering me, ruining my deathless run. But we're fine. We're just going to keep looking back, making sure everything is fine. We make it into this room where there's going to be another security badge upgrade. But before we're able to make it out, this is when all these guys come down, and now they're going to start chasing after us. Thankfully, they're not that fast. And what we can always do, just like usual, is look back, see that they're right behind us. And now we just want to jump on the... We just... Please, game, please. We just want to jump on the... Can I please jump on the thing? I am not trying to die. Thank you very much. Oh, I love how broken this game is sometimes. That was scary. But there we go. That's that section done. And it is always relieving to have that section done because that's probably one of the places I die the most. All right, things are looking good. And now we can make it back to Freddy. She's like, oh, you better not be helping out Gregory. Otherwise, we're going to get Monty to replace you. No one's gonna come to Monty's Pizzaplex, come on. But that was fun seeing Vanessa for a little bit. Now we're just gonna ignore Freddy for a second because we gotta get a present. I mean, I wanted my Glam Roxy figure. And at this point, it is time to upgrade Freddy with the power upgrade. Now the power upgrade is one of the scariest parts of this game because if you make a single mistake, you lose your progress. And we would have to watch that entire cutscene again, which I do not want to happen. So no, it isn't actually that scary, but it's really easy to mess up. It's pretty simple though, because all we have to do is match the colors. We'll press yellow right there. We'll see that it's yellow then red. We press yellow then red. And yeah, you pretty much get it. This is all we're doing. So yellow, red, red, blue. And yeah, that's all we had to do for this one. But every power upgrade is going to get harder than the last. Anyways, after that, we are now protected. We can use our machine and finish the upgrade. Now at this point, we're going to head over and get a fast cam. But first, we got to get the party pass, which we can get from Chica. Well, at least from Chica's room. So we're going to head up this elevator and go into Roxy's room. But before we actually exit out of there, we're also going to take this present. That's going to be the 4-block shirt. And all we want to do is just run straight past Roxy. She won't notice us for a second, but then she ignores us. She's dealing with stuff. All right, you can't blame her too much. Anyways, we're heading back through the vents, but this time we aren't going to be safe because there is going to be the little music man coming after us. But like usual, as long as we're just going fairly fast, we should be safe. Now, after a little bit, we make it over to this vent, which is going to lead us to Chica's room. We can open this present, and that's going to be our party pass. But right after this, Moon is always going to come by, so we want to head over to the recharge station and go in it immediately. Yeah, it's kind of funny. Like, Moon is scary when you're playing this game for the first time, but when you know when he's coming, you just go to the recharge station. It's really easy. Anyways, it's time to figure out how to decommission Monty, but we already know how to do that, and we're going to murder this guy. Well, I guess not murder him, just make him very miserable for the rest of his life. If you know what I'm talking about, you know what I'm talking about. Anyways, what we want to do is head over into this hallway. Then we're basically just running through this section. We can use our flashlight a little. It's kind of funny since because we have our gamma so high, we barely have to use our flashlight, but this is one of the sections where it's needed. This is also one of the sections where there is a ton of lag. Gotta love security breach. But okay, now we make it inside the Pizzaplex. And before we head over to Monty, we want to stop by Roxy Raceway. So we'll head through this area just like before. And we want to be over here. You will see the bot right there. I don't want to get caught by him. So we will wait out the bot, then go right behind him. And we'll be taking the right path over here, which is going to put us in one of the parts of the Roxy Raceway. Or actually, is this the Roxy Raceway? I think it is. But yeah, there's going to be a bunch of bots all over the place. But what we want to do first of all is go up this hallway. And there's going to be another gift. That's going to be the Roxy Pinata. Then we can head down the stairs, make sure no bots are going to find us, and go in the middle of this. I guess this is the Roxy Raceway. I'm just dumb. Anyways, now we're in this part where I think they like cut hair. I don't know why this is part of the Roxy Raceway, but right in this section is going to be another present, and that's going to be our Roxy Magnet. Then we want to head into this bathroom area where there's going to be this present, and that is going to be shoes, which actually gives us speed up and is really useful for the speed run. But it is time for our first princess quest. One of the endings requires you to beat all 3 princess quests, so it is kind of funny. A lot of people in my Twitch chat would come in during this part and be like, oh, is this a completely different game than Security Breach? And I'm like, no, this is Security Breach. But anyways, what we want to do is use her torch to light up a bunch of these lights. Then we can head into this section, open up one of these chests, and we want to go in this downward hallway so we get all the people to come after us and then just juke them out. Yeah, kind of funny how easy they were to trick. Now we just dodge through these guys. We can use that key on that door. We're heading over to the right, and there's going to be a bunch of people trying to chase after us, but we're just going for the lights like usual. We do this pattern where we get the right side first, then we get the middle, and then we focus on the left side. There's just going to be one more light right there, which is going to open up the door. And now what we want to do is head over to the right into this really dark hallway, but we know exactly where we have to go. We'll head over to the right for a little bit until we make it to this spot where we head up for a little bit, and finally head over to the right for a little bit again, and there's going to be this door where now there's a little puzzle. We have to turn on these lights in the right order, so we'll do 1 first, then 2. This one is going to be 3, that one's going to be 4, and that one's going to be 5. Now we can head through these stairs and get out on the other side where there's going to be this glowing chest which gives us a strange key, and that key is just what we need to go inside this doorway where now we can light this up. Someone shows up. I don't really know who they are, but you know, they're trying to scare us or something. Who really cares? But yeah, that's Princess Quest 1, and now we want to make it out of this section and go over to our boy Monty. Actually, I shouldn't call him my boy. I still don't like him, but anyways, it's time to go out of here. I don't know why I'm being so mean to Monty. He isn't that bad. I'm just mad because he replaced Bonnie. I won't lie. Anyways, we're heading straight out of here, just going through the same way we came in. Finally, we'll make it out of here and we can start heading down these escalators, and we're just going straight through the middle of the stage to make it to the other side. You can see that there's Monty's Gator Golf right there. There's a nice sign for it. But before we go in there, we also want to head to the left. You see another present, which this one is going to be the Roxy name shirt. And now it's time to actually go to the Gator Golf, where you can see that it's a pretty nice area. You know, the designers of this building really knew what they were doing. But before we actually use our party pass, we want to get this one, a frozen Monty treat. It looks absolutely terrible. Who wants to eat that? But then we want to give this guy our party pass, and while he's celebrating, we'll go and get our next present, which is going to be the Glam Monty figure. And finally, after like way too long, dude, you want to let me through? Thank you. We were kind of sitting there for a second, but now we can go on the elevator. So it's time to get our fast cam, but to do that, we got to dodge Monty all the time. So what I'm going to do, check where he is for a second, and then we'll come over here. We might as well save. Better safe than sorry. And then I didn't see him the first time, so we'll check again. I have no idea where he is. Whatever. What's the worst that could happen? What I will do is do this distraction, just because that's what the world record does. And we'll head over through this section where there's Monty. Okay. Yeah, I was trying to dodge Monty and he was there the entire time, but we should be fine as long as we have enough stamina. My stamina is depleting very quickly, but we just have to make it up here. I don't think he can come up here. And yeah, it looks like he won't. I was actually terrified. That was very scary, but we can get the tragedy mask, make sure Monty is nowhere to be found, and make it out the other side. Jeez, that was almost very bad. But now we're gonna go collect this present, and that is going to be our go-kart. I don't know how we're carrying an entire go-kart. It must be like a mini one. But finally, we can make it into the security office. And yeah, that entire section made my heart drop just a little bit, but we should be fine. But of course, since we get into the security office, they know where we are. Why do they always know where we are? But we can take this present, which is going to be the fast cam. We can also get our security badge and go to this present, which that one is going to be the Mazer size ticket. So we have a bunch of stuff that we can use now, but the most important part is the fast cam. Basically what the fast cam does is it stuns all the animatronics around us, but because Monty is wearing glasses, he actually won't get stunned. Still, as you see with that security bot right there, he got stunned because he isn't wearing glasses. And now we can just make it through here, try not to get caught by Monty. He shouldn't be too much of a problem even if we do get caught right there, because now we can head in the elevator, and that's another part done. And I know everyone watching this video just can't wait for Monty to get decommissioned, but it's coming up soon. Before that, we got to go back to the daycare, but before going back to the daycare, we got to do this stuff. We can find one of our golden presents right here. That is going to be Golden Sun. He's looking pretty cool. And then we can head back here over to the ship. That's going to give us another present in here, which is going to be our moon plush. So yeah, pretty good stuff so far. Now we're heading right back up because we have to go to the elevators over to the daycare. So we can head through here nice and easy. But before we go over to the daycare area, we want to come down here because now that we have such a high security clearance, we can actually get another present. We'll head back through the security office where we got trapped in before. And right here, there's going to be this present, which that one's going to be the cupcake piñata. And now we're also going to get this present, which is in the middle of the hall. We could get this earlier, but because Chica was going all throughout the hallway, I didn't want to risk it. So we can just get it now, get our Chica name shirt. And now we're going to the daycare, which the daycare has a few more security bots than last time in it. And we want to be very careful to not get caught by a single security bot. If we do, things will get a lot more complicated and we'll probably die. But first of all, we'll head inside that green door. We can pick up our Glam Freddy figure. Then we can head out. See, there are two more security bots right here. And we want to go inside that purple door. So I will wait this out. As soon as they pass by, we can go in there, pick up our next present, which will be the plush baby. Wait out, make sure that no one is around and that guy's coming through. So we should be able to go behind him. I'm going to use my fast cam just in case. And there's going to be another guy in here, which he almost caught me. I was not expecting him to be there, but we're just gonna play this safe, make sure that guy does not find us at all. And we can head into the back at this pile of trash. These workers do not care at all, but that is going to be our Freddy mask. And we will just make sure that this guy is not around us. We are good on that. Our fast cam is recharging, so we can use that on these guys. Just go straight through them. And we also get to hear the comedy stylings of Staffbot, which is awesome. Yeah, Staffbot, I love you so much, man. Thank you for the amazing comedy. But we are going to make sure that guy doesn't find us. Then we can go through and we make it into this section, which there is going to be more of these guys who move if you're not looking at them. Now, they don't move right away. Right now, they're safe. But as soon as we go pick up our next objective, they will. So, of course, we will pick up this present and get our mazer-sized control key. But now, there's going to be a lot of people chasing after us, and they are kind of terrifying. Thankfully, as long as we're moving the entire time, we should be fine, especially since we got the shoes upgrade earlier. And once we make it to this section, we should be safe. So now we just want to make sure that this robot doesn't see us. We'll wait him out. I could use my Faz cam here, but I'd rather save it for just a little bit later. So we'll just wait that guy out and go up these stairs. And now once we make it over here, we can actually use the Faz cam. So I will use it on those guys, make it through there. And we just have to make it through this guy, make sure that he doesn't find us. And finally, we've made it out. Comedy bot's still going. Gotta love him. Telling some great jokes right there, I gotta say. But before we're finally out of the daycare section, we want to go into this gift shop. And all the way in the back of it, there's going to be this present, which is going to be an old poster. And yeah, Freddy's looking really good in that poster. But okay, now it's time to escape. And we are officially 1 hour in the run, and we're doing pretty well. We are still deathless. But at this point, all we have to do is make it past these guys. I do have my Faz cam, and okay, I thought that guy, I don't know what that guy is doing. I don't know if he got stunned or not, but we're fine. That was kind of scary. But okay, back in through the elevator. And once we get out, we want to head on the escalator and go to the 3rd floor. Now, the 3rd floor, there is a lot of stuff going on here that we will have to worry about later. But I believe this is like one of the first times we were on here. Obviously, we did use the music disc for it, but now we're actually going inside these buildings. Or I guess they're not buildings, more of like rooms, sections, whatever you want to call it. Anyways, we're going inside this kitchen, and that's going to give us the Fizzy Faz Monty. Then we want to save because this part, it can go really badly. And that is because it is time for the absolute worst puzzle in the entire game. So first of all, we want to head over to the staff bot, use our pass. He's going to dance a little. Gotta love that guy. And now we're in mazer size. And what we want to do here is head through this door, and there's going to be this bot. Now this bot is really annoying because he can actually see through walls. But anyways, it's time for a code, and thankfully I have it written down. So first of all, I want to do bottom 4 2 times. Then we do bottom 5 1 time. We hit the lever to go upwards. We do top 2 1 time, and we do bottom 1 2 times. And with all of that done, it's going to make the puzzle be in the right area that we want it to be, so we can just run straight through here. You basically have to move around all these barricades to open up this vent, and it is very annoying. I don't know how people did this casually, but you know, I salute them. Anyways, as you can see by our mission, we got to defeat Monty and take his claws. And we're going to defeat him in a very painful way, but he can also very easily defeat me because this boss fight is annoying. And that's why, of course, we're going to get a save point. Then we're going to jump on this thing. We can hit Monty's dumb face a couple times because that's what he gets. And then he's going to start coming over. We can go down here, and we can see it is finally time for the fight. This dude tries to be intimidating, growls at us and stuff. But what we have to do is we have to use these shooting things to fill up the Monty bucket. So I'll come over here. You can see I have one of these, and I can just shoot it a couple times. Now this entire time, Monty is just going to be moving throughout the area and trying to attack us. And it's hard to keep track of where he is. So we kind of just have to hope that things go well. Oh, he can also jump and go all the way over and start chasing us. The jump is the most annoying part because I have had it sometimes where he jumps right on me. And yeah, that isn't the most fun thing to happen, especially because if you get hit a single time, you lose the run. And I hear him. I saw my screen vibrating right there, so I knew he was coming up. We're running away. Yeah, you have to use all of your visual cues, everything going on to make sure that this dude doesn't murder us. All right, Monty, let's just chill out. All right, I'm trying to speedrun. I know you don't exactly want to die, but it has to happen. And I just need him to not be annoying. I am always on edge at this point because it is so easy for something to go wrong, and it's so easy to not know where he is. But I can shoot a couple of these. It looks like we're getting that up a bit, so we're doing well. Oh, it's also fun because the entire time Monty's like, hey, little guy. He really likes saying, hey, little guy. I don't know why they didn't put other voice lines in for him, but you know, hey, little guy. Anyways, I will shoot that a couple times. For some reason, it breaks on me before it was out, but that's fine. And he is right behind me, isn't he? Haha, I did the funny Marvel movie quote thing. Anyways, where is this dude? I do not want to lose this run, so I'm just gonna make sure that I'm fine. Okay, go over here. Oh, that scared me a little bit, but that is fine. We'll get a couple of those. You can see that we now have the splash bucket full. Monty's gonna run somewhere. I don't know where he's going right now, but he jumps, and now we can just start running straight over to the splash bucket. We have the shoes, so we should be fine. We can finally finally hit the button. It does put us into another cutscene where Monty's like, oh, I'm gonna kill you, little guy. But we go and press this button. The barrel is gonna start tipping down, and it's gonna have so much weight that it collapses him. And there goes Monty. Yep, he's gonna break off. His legs get off his body, and now he no longer has legs. So we're gonna come right over here, and we're also gonna take his claws, because these are gonna be a nice upgrade for our boy Freddy. Now, the thing is, Monty isn't actually dead. He is still alive. But for the rest of the game, he is not gonna be able to run. He crawls everywhere. And it's kind of sad, but he deserves it. Now, unless we get caught right here, we probably won't see it just yet. But later in the run, you will see it, and it's the funniest thing you'll ever see. Anyways, we're making it straight out through here, hitting that button, and we did the Monty part. Only 2 more animatronics to go. So now that we got the claws, it's time to upgrade our boy Freddy. And that means we're going straight back to the main stage. We're gonna press that button, head downwards. We'll head out through this door, and now it's time for this puzzle again. So I will save, because something can always go wrong here. And now it's time for the claws upgrade. So with this, what we wanna do is make sure we don't hit anything until the thing stops speaking. I've done it slightly too soon before, and it just kills you. So we wanna be very careful right here, but just like before, we're doing Simon Says. So that's going to be blue, green, red, yellow. And then we'll see these. That was kind of a hard pattern, but we'll go and get those. Now we want to do is hit the hand, and that's going to take it out. And then it's going to replace it with the Monty hand. Now we want to reconnect these, which is going to be that. So we will go and do these ones. And then we have another kind of hard pattern. It really is giving me the hard patterns right now, but that should be it. Now we can close that casing, get it right back to normal, and we just have to do the testing. It's going to be green first, then we have green, yellow, and yeah, I mean, you've seen this a million times. I don't think I have to go over it. And yeah, that's going to be another upgrade. Okay, feels good, and now we can open new paths. But of course, as soon as that's done, it's time for Moon to come back out, but there's a nice recharge station right here. All right, that was the easiest moon of my life. Actually, maybe not. All of these are easy. It is now 5 a.m. though, and we only have a little bit longer to do until we get our first ending. But before we can get that first ending, it's time to take out Roxy. I'm sorry. I love Roxy, but you got to do what you got to do. So before anything else, we want to head over to the Roxy Raceway. And this time, instead of going to our usual right path, what we'll do, well, first of all, we'll come over here and we'll use the Monty claws. We can press Q right there, get Freddy to just come running all the way over like a doofus, and he hits that open for us. All right, I shouldn't call him a doofus. He's such a lovable guy. Anyways, we're going to come under there into this kitchen, and there's going to be this present, which that one is going to be our Freddy Pinata. Then we can head over to the right, see our staff bot, but we can't deal with him just yet. So we'll come up here and see this present, which that one's going to be our Space Freddy keychain. And we'll head back upwards and actually go to the Roxy Raceway now. So there is a door on this other side over to the left. And that's because, of course, there's going to be one of these Monty gates. So we got to get Freddy to come all the way over here. For some reason, he comes from the opposite side. I guess this guy's teleporting too. But we can just go through him, and I'll see you later, Freddy. Look, he helps somewhat every once in a while. Anyways, we're in the Roxy Raceway, and there's going to be a couple bots over here, but we don't really have to worry about that guy. So I'll conserve my stamina just a little bit. And I agree, Roxy, sign up to be a winner. No one likes a loser. Oh, I love Roxy so much. Anyways, it's time to murder her. But before we can do that murder, we got to do some certain things, like go and take this head. Yeah, we're just stealing this head from this guy. Sorry about it. But unfortunately, it is damaged, so we're going to have to fix it, which means a lot more work for us. And now we got to go to the dance stage. Luckily, there's going to be a dance pass right over here in the garages. You can see that there's this present, and that's going to give us our dance pass. But before we head out of the Roxy Raceway, we do want to get one more thing. Roxy is right over here, so we're hoping that Roxy doesn't attack us and murder us. If it happens, it happens. But there we see the car where we have to add the head. Unfortunately, Gregory is too short to drive it by himself. I don't know why that's a thing, but I guess it is what it is. Anyways, time for the Fizzy Faz Roxy. And this also is a good point to get another save point. But now we just have to head out of the Roxy Raceway, which let's make sure that Roxy isn't over here. I do have my Faz cam, so there she is, so we will have to use that on her. She hears us, she's coming towards us, but I'm just gonna go hit her with that. She gets stunned, see you later. And yeah, that was pretty easy. Now we can just make it out, hope she isn't chasing behind us. And there we go, we're out of there. We can see Freddy again. He's kind of just hanging out, and he's gonna be hanging out in that same place while we do everything. Yeah, Freddy is one of the most patient guys in the world. Like, he doesn't even worry about what we're doing right now. He's like, I'll just stand here. And now we wanna head upwards through the escalators. So we'll go up these guys, and we'll see there's the Fazcade right over here. We'll make sure none of these security bots see us, so I'm just gonna keep track of them while my dude dances. This game would be so much easier if these guys didn't have to dance every time they got a pass. But now we're heading into here, and we got to repair the robot head. So the in-game reason why Freddy can't come with us here, by the way, is because if he gets on the dance floor, he automatically dances. So this guy decides to leave a child alone, because he can't overcome his urges to dance. Yeah, come on, Freddy. That seems like an excuse, but whatever. We're going to get the Glam Monty plush, come up through here. We can see this guy. We just want to dodge everybody, so I will use my fast cam right there because I don't believe there are any animatronics on the floor right now, but they will show up, of course, if we get jump scared like we did right there. Yep, gotta love that. And there is Chica. So she's going to start running past us, but it is what it is. Chica, just stay away from me. Please stop being a jerk, all right? And we're just going to go through here and make it into the security office, where here's another spot where we want to save. But now once we try to get the security upgrade, all the power is going to go out and now we have to reboot it. So yeah, here's where a lot of stuff is going to happen and a lot of people are going to try to murder us. Well, more specifically, Monty and Chica are going to try to murder us, but we're just going to go through these bots. I'm not too worried about Chica. I probably should have not used my fast cam right there. Hopefully Chica is not going to find me and I think we're fine. I think I lost her. Yeah, that was a really dumb play by myself, but I mean, it works out, so you can't really complain. And please let me make it past that. Oh my gosh. Okay, anyways, we see music, man, and now we got to go turn on the power. So we will turn on that generator, get everything to work, but now we actually have to reset 3 breakers. So we'll make it through that guy and go into this bathroom. And for some reason, one of the breakers is in the bathroom. I don't really know why. But of course, here's another spot where we see music, man. And we can just escape out through there. So, you know, it was pretty cool seeing him. We'll also get scared by this guy again. Oh my gosh, that's annoying. But the lucky thing is during here, it's just Monty. You saw Monty crawling on the ground and he has no way of catching up to us. Yeah, Monty, he tries his best, but I mean, he's not going to do anything right. But oh my gosh, Chica's coming down and there's Monty again. I'm sorry. Every time I see Monty, I just have to laugh. Okay, Chica is right there. She's trying to murder us, but we are on a slightly elevated surface, so she will go away. Please, Chica. And this guy's going to catch me, isn't he? Yep, another jump scare warning coming up, and yeah, that's fun. And she comes back. Oh my gosh, come on, man. Okay, we do have the fast cam though, so I'm gonna hit her with it and we're gonna head on our way. And that was so annoying, but I guess we're fine. Yeah, Mini Monty, he tries his best, but he is not having the greatest time in the world. But now we want to head through here. Right now we have 2 of the breakers, so we can go to our next one, which I always forget where exactly it is, but it's gonna be right here. And now we just gotta head back to the security office. We can go through this guy. At this point, I don't really care if anyone catches me, but I don't love those jump scares. Please stop. I don't want to be stopped for a second. That isn't as fun, but I'm pretty sure Chica's behind us somewhere over the rainbow. Okay. Thank you, Chica. That's why you always have to have the fast cam ready, and that's why it's also a lot better than the gun, because you can just completely destroy people with the fast cam, but with the gun, it doesn't really do too much. Okay, we made it back into here, and now we have to reset our final breaker, and that means we go inside of this building. We're just running through. We hear some of the best music in the entire game. This is where your entire Twitch chat starts dancing and all that. It's a fun time, but we'll make it over here. We can hit this breaker. That is going to be all of them done, but for one last time, we see music, man. Okay, that's the last time I'll do it. Thanks, Matt Pat. Anyways, now we just gotta run away from music, man. He's gonna just be kind of slow. I mean, he is coming towards us, but I don't really care. And we just make it right back into the security office. As soon as we make it in here, we're safe. So we can place our robot head in the head deposit, and we can also recharge our flashlight while we're waiting. Might as well. We don't really use it, but I mean, we might as well do it. And now that we have our new head, we can actually go and stop Roxy. But before we do that, it's time for our second princess quest. So we will head all the way over to this machine. And yeah, it is time for our next princess quest. And this time with princess quest, we have a sword. So that's nice because we can actually attack these guys back. Now, some areas we're not going to want to attack them because it just takes too much time. So I'll just go right through them. And it is also nice because every time you kill one of the enemies and you're low on any hearts, you will get another heart. So we're never in too much danger as long as we're playing pretty safe. But yeah, I just want to kill people as I go by, especially if they're in my way, get more hearts. We can move that guy out of the way. And it is nice when you get hit and then immediately get a heart. But now we will press that, start heading downwards. I'm pretty much just going to dodge all these guys. Just go straight through them all the way down here. And there's going to be this room where there's a bunch of lights that we have to light up and also a bunch of guys trying to murder us. So these guys I actually will kill because it is a very small room. And there's also the shooty guys. The nice thing about the shooty guys is they only take a single hit to kill, while these guys who move around, they take 3 hits. But we'll take these guys out one by one, get another light, come over here, get that light, and get this middle light. That's going to be the last one we need. So now we can head inside, get that chest, which is going to give us a small key, and go back out through the top. Now we do want to get 1 extra ones of these hearts, so I will take these guys out, then go over to the right, get that chest. That's going to give us 4 hearts instead of 3, which is obviously pretty nice because I'm a bit safer. But we're just heading upwards until we make it to this spot. We see this old man. I don't really know what he's doing. doing. But we get this mechanic, which is pretty cool. It's when you hit the red light, you split between like your shadow self and your regular self. I don't really know why it works like that, but it's cool. But yeah, just like usual, just trying to dodge these people, get this heart if I can. That took way too long, but we'll take that guy off of us. These guys are shooting me from everywhere. We're fine. This room is the scariest in Princess Quest 2, so we want to be very careful about it and just make sure that no death happens. And these floating head guys, they're the most annoying guys. They only take 2 hits to kill, but I just don't like them at all. Now we'll hit that guy, or at least try to hit that guy, and head downwards. That's gonna put us into this section where we can just ignore all of these people. We'll just hug the bottom wall as we go through. No one should be able to see us, and we can go through this door where there's gonna be another one of these light puzzles. I will hit a couple of these lights. It's kind of hard to control the other person because my brain doesn't work that way, but now we hit the other light, then we hit this one repeatedly, and for some reason it turns back on, and now we can go through that door, and we're done with Princess Quest 2. So yeah, that's another little video game that we got done, and it is time to go and take out Roxy. So all we have to do is make it outside of the arcade. And by the way, this would probably be like one of the most fun places to play. There's so many arcade machines just everywhere. Like, I wish we could go to this place in real life. You know, maybe without the evil animatronics. But either way, it would still be fun. Anyways, we're gonna head downwards. Try not to get caught by that guy, but it doesn't really matter. I mean, the only person we have to worry about is Monty, who doesn't have legs. So, not too much of a big deal. And now we're finally out of here, so we can go back to Roxy Raceway. Which, you already know the path. We're just taking the same one we did before. And we see Freddy in the exact same place we left him before. This dude is so lazy. But anyways, it is time for Roxy. She's gonna say, I bet you don't even have friends. I mean, I want to be your friend, Roxy. Maybe instead of saying that, you become my friend. But because she says that, we gotta take her eyes. So what we're gonna do is go over to this cart, place our bot head, and finally, it's time to take out Roxy. So what we're gonna do, we're just having a fun time. We're literally just driving. I don't know why we came up with this plan. Like, did we just feel like driving for a little bit? But now she jumps down and we see her. So we jump out of the car. And very conveniently, the car bumps into her at just the right angle. Just the right angle, so it hits her eyes and takes them out of her skull. Like, was this the plan, or did this just happen conveniently? I have no idea. And you almost feel bad for Roxy. I mean, I do. Like, it's pretty bad to take your eyes. I don't know, man. But, you know, it is what it is. We're gonna take them anyways. Thank you, Roxy. I really appreciate it. But now we still have to escape from Roxy, so we're gonna save. And as soon as we press this button, you'll see that she's over there, and now she's coming after us, but she doesn't have eyesight, so she can only go off of sound. And we're going to use that to our advantage. We're going to come over here. She's going to notice us. I almost messed that up. That was terrifying. But we're just going to head through this door, head over here, and there's going to be a nice fiery room. So I'm going to wait here for Roxy. Come on, girl. We'll try to make a little bit of noise so she hears it. I don't know what she's doing, but we'll jump out of the way. She's going to jump, open that door for us. Now we're in the fiery area. So what we have to do is now get her to come sprint over here. We'll dodge her. Then we'll also start this distraction right there. And she's just going all over the place. Finally, we can make it to the vent, and we've escaped Roxy. That part, so scary, I swear. But yeah, we did it. It's now 5:40 a.m. So we have done so much damage to these poor animatronics, but we're not done yet. They're still Chica. But before we give an upgrade to Freddy, we got some stuff to do, like coming into this building and getting this present, which that one's going to give us the Monty balloon. And then we're heading all the way over here into the information center. There's going to be a couple of bots around. I'm going to make sure none of them catch me. And then we can make it into here. There will be one security bot, but we can flash him really quick and get ourselves a Space Monty keychain. Then we'll just wait out this guy, make sure he doesn't see us. He's a really fast guy, actually, but we've made it out. And now we just got to go outside the exit. We will see this guy right there. Just wait him out, go straight through there. There's one more security bot we got to escape, but he is very easy. And finally, we're out of here. And all we have to do now is flash Freddy, because I like hearing him go, I am your friend. All right, anyways, time to upgrade him, which just like usual, we're going to press this button, go downwards. And now it's time for everybody's favorite minigame, try not to die. Because Freddy, if you do anything wrong, he tries to murder you. He's such a nice guy. But we want to take off his nose. And of course, it is time to replace his eyes with the new ones. So we will do green, yellow, yellow. Then we'll see this pattern, which that's a very long pattern. Thankfully, that time it was an easy one, so I'll take it. And then we take off both of his eyes. And then then both of them get replaced with the new Roxy eyes. Then we will see this one, which pretty easy pattern. I will take it. And then this one, which kind of a harder pattern, but still not the hardest thing in the world. We just want to make sure that we actually hit the buttons, otherwise he'll attack. So we can place back on his faceplate. That's pretty good. And now, again, time for Simon Says. Yay, we have green, then yellow. This part is so long, especially during the Roxy one. Like, we have to do this, I think, like 6 or 7 times. And it's just so, I don't know. They probably should have done something different with this. I mean, it isn't the worst thing in the world, and you can mess it up, but it's just kind of boring. But I think this one might be the last one. We go with that, and that is kind of an annoying pattern, but I should have it down. And please let that one be the last one, guys. There we go. Okay, we're good. All right, that is our next upgrade done, and all that is left is the Chica upgrade. Now, this time, Gregory's kind of an idiot and admits that he stole them from Roxy, which Freddy's like, why did you steal my friend's eyes? But then we just use some excuse. Yeah, Freddy is not the smartest person. Anyways, since it's almost 6 o'clock, we can finally make it out of the Pizzaplex. So it is time to get our very first ending. But we are going to get chased by Moon the entire time. Thankfully, he's never really a problem. I don't think I've actually ever seen him in this section because we're moving the entire time. So we're heading straight up through here, and now we want to go and do the fire escape ending, otherwise known as the VIP ending. That's why we got all these gifts throughout this entire speedrun, and we only have a few more that we have to get until we have them all. Now, for the fire escape, we have to go up to the 3rd floor, and we're going inside of this room that we came in earlier before we went and took out Monty. Then we can go straight through here, go through that one as well, and in this area, the person who will be chasing us is Roxy. But obviously, Roxy doesn't have her eyes, so she isn't the hardest to take care of. We will go ahead, go over here, get this present. That's going to be our Chica balloon. Now we can go straight through that guy, and we don't really care if they notice us because, again, Roxy isn't that hard to deal with. But we'll go over into this security place, just go through these doors until we make it over to this like arcade section, I think it is. I don't know, there are a lot of cool gifts and stuff, and we will be taking one of the gifts because there's going to be this present, and that one's going to give us the Monty mask. And now we can head through these doors, just crouch under those and go over to the right. And now in this section, you do see that there is the VIP exit, and we can go there, but it doesn't let us through. And that's because there is one more thing we have to get, which is this present right here. That one is going to be our Frozen Freddy treat. And now, since we have all of our gifts, we can go through this door and get this nice little cutscene. Now, Freddy's like, oh, I can't exit out, leave without me. Now, he does say we could stay, but see ya. And that is our first ending. Now, because we technically already ended the game, we are allowed to skip this cutscene, so we don't have to wait through all the ending cutscenes, which is nice. But we're going straight back into our game now. Thankfully, it actually gave us an autosave, and this time we can choose to stay, because that's only one of the 6 endings that we have to do. But now that we've gotten all of this setup done, these last 6 endings are going to go a lot faster. But first of all, we got to make it out of this part, you know, kind of just walking through the same places we came in. But one thing I should mention is, for some reason, the developers decided to only give you one save point once you make it to this part. All the other save points are now disconnected, and there's only one in the middle of the 2nd floor. And I mean, it isn't the worst thing in the world, but in sections like where we have to take out Chica, it's a lot scarier. But I mean, we've done a deathless run so far, we're still going for the deathless run all the way. The funny thing is, they used to not have any save points for this area, and it was the dumbest thing ever. I don't know why they would do that, but they decided to. Anyways, it is time to deal with everything else, and to start out, we got to take care of Chica. But you can see our one and only save point is right over here, so we might as well take it. And now it is time to head over to the Chica area. Now that's going to be on the 1st floor and over to the left. We can head over to this door and go to Phaser Blast. Now the nice thing is, I finally don't have to worry about getting all the collectibles that we've gotten throughout the speedrun, so we can just run through. That's less for me to worry about. But now we're in Phaser Blast, and it is time for a pretty fun minigame, actually. Why we're doing this minigame is so we get the little gun thing. And this is another thing we can use on animatronics to stun them, but it isn't as good as the Phaz Cam. The Phaz Cam only has one shot, but it does the entire area. Well, for this one, we have to aim at their heads. So yeah, overall, that's why we went for the Phaz Cam first. It's just better in most places. Anyways, we are now in this area, and there are 3 different spots that we have to capture. The first one, we're going to take kind of this left path. I always mess up my path just a little bit, but we can go through here and get this first area. And basically, we have to capture this flag, and that requires sitting here for 30 seconds. This is basically teaching you how to use the Phaser Blast. We have to shoot these different robots' heads and not allow them to to get the flag back. All the while, Chica is in this place and trying to find us. So yeah, we have to worry about Chica while also worrying about getting all 3 of these spots. But once it's around 5 seconds left, we're pretty safe to go on our way, and we can go to the next spot, which that's going to be up through here. And now we can press on this button. And what we can do is actually stand in this spot, and that's going to cause any of the robots coming from the right to just get stuck. Yeah, all of the robots on the right, they just sit there and they can't come towards the flag, which makes it easier for us. We can actually look at them. They're just kind of like sitting there. It's kind of funny, but we can take out that guy. And at this point, there's only about 5 seconds, so I will be on my way. That is going to be our second area captured. So now we can come out through here, and there's going to be the last one right here. And we just got to make sure that nobody takes our spot. I also want to be careful with how many of my gunshots I use, because it does take a really long time to get more. And yeah, if I miss too many of these, then we're just going to lose the game. I have lost this game in a speedrun before. It's not very fun. I mean, it doesn't kill you, but it does waste a lot of time. But it looks like we should be good, and that is going to be all 3 of those places captured. So we're doing a pretty good job so far. Now we can go head to the prize counter. We'll just go place that right there and end the game. And we didn't even see Chica at all. That was really lucky. But before we actually make it out of this area, we also have to see Vanny's hideout. You can see that if we head over to the right and go through these vents, there's going to be a nice secret. So we'll go through here, just see some fans, normal stuff. And if we go through this vent as well, once we get out the other side, Gregory is going to mention that he sees Vanny's hideout. And that allows us to get 2 more endings once we make it over there. So those are going to be the next 2 we do. So we can just head back out. And, oh, I forgot to get the Phaser Blaster. I forgot to get our prize. But now that we got the prize, we can actually head out of here and just go outside the exit. But once we make it outside the exit, we also want to go into this place through the security office. We'll get alerted by everybody, of course. But we can get a security badge upgrade and also get this present, which is going to be the bowling ticket. Now, we need the bowling ticket to take out Chica, so that'll be important in just a little bit. I'm also going the wrong area. Where am I supposed to go? Okay, it's over here. That was a little dumb. But now we can just head straight out through here and go down the elevator. So now it is time to rapid fire 4 of our remaining 5 endings. And because of that, what we want to do is save just before this so we can get all of them right in a row. Now we'll head in this elevator, go down there, and we're back into this main hall that we were at the beginning of the game. Pretty easy spot too. There's really nobody trying to attack us. And we can make it outside the exit where first of all, we want to do leave. Yep, see you later, Freddy. And that's going to be ending number 2. But now we're heading back here, and this time we're going to click on Vanny. So we think that me and Freddy working together, we can take out Vanny. And Freddy gets ready to fight. He's gonna try his best, you know, he's got this. But then Vanny's just kind of sitting there and says, disassemble Freddy. Hits the button, and Freddy just completely loses. All the people come up to him and completely destroy my dude. It's very sad. So yeah, that plan didn't work out the best. But now we are out of here, and we still got to escape because they're now going to be coming after us, and I do not want to get disassembled like Freddy did. So what we want to do, first of all, we're going to use that distraction so we get Roxy off our backs. Then we can just head through here, try not to get caught by any of those guys. There's going to be this guy in the hallway where we want to take out our gun, blind him with that really quick before we go through. We will see Monty at the bottom, but we can just blind him as well. He's still trying his best, trying to get us, but kind of sucks. And Freddy tells us, hey, Freddy, you got to go use the security desk and turn all the robots against Vanny. So that is going to be our next ending. We can just press that right there, and we take her out. That's number 3. Now for the next one, we want to do Vanny again. We see Freddy die again, but this time, instead of attacking Vanny, we got a game. It's time for Princess Quest 3. While Freddy is lying on the ground, we're literally gaming and having a good time. Anyways, for this first hallway, we just got to take out a bunch of guys. We'll just slice them. It is smart to take out all of these people since we will have to come back to this hall later. So we're just going to hit all of these guys. And I am not sure why Vanny isn't attacking us during this, but I guess she just kind of wants us to help her. I don't know. But anyways, we're going to go through here. We see Chica's eyes, kind of terrifying. And we just want to keep going on our way, making sure we don't get hit. Okay, that was bad. I just got hit twice there as well. That could have been very bad, but we will just get the hearts that we need. And these platforms are really annoying how their momentum works. But thankfully, I've played way too much of this to make sure I don't mess up with those. So we want to turn that by hitting that light, then come up this other area. We want to head upwards a little bit. Otherwise, we're going to fall off the void and then get hurt a little bit. Now we want to use that light, go over to the purple light, turn that on as well. That's going to make those platforms stop, so we can press that. And then we can take this path that is very fast all the way over to the chest. and get our first doll. So now all the platforms have stopped moving and we just got to make it out of here. But on the way, I do like picking up another chest right by Chica's eyes. She's looking good, but we are going to take that heart. And now we can just head out that door and go over to the left side, which this one is interesting because for the only time in this entire game, we see Foxy. I don't know why Foxy is here, but nowhere else, but he's going to chase after us. Unluckily for him though, he is not the smartest person in the world. He's trying to chase after us, but I don't really know exactly what he's trying to do because it is not working. But basically in this maze, we have to turn on 3 of the different lights. The last one's right there. We can open that chest, which is going to give us the bunny mask, and we can see Foxy right over to the right. And we just got to make it out of the exit of this maze now. I'm not exactly sure where Foxy is, but I don't think we really have to worry about him. And we just got through that without getting hit. So things are looking good. Now we want to go back downwards and we can head through that door, then that door, and open up that chest using the masks we got before heading up here, pressing open that door. And now there's just a few more people we have to take out. Yeah, they're hitting us back, all that sort of stuff. We're not too worried about it. We just want to go through all of those people. That should be it. Finally, we can just keep heading upwards until we see this door. We open it up, and then the game glitches out. Yeah, we hear some sort of scream. I have no idea what's happening, but that's going to give us our next ending where we actually help Vanny. That's number 4 out of 6. Now we just have one more ending before we take out Chica and go for the Afton ending. And for this one, we want to head downwards over towards this pizza place. We can head through that door and we'll see that there's a nice elevator right here, which we can go on. So now that we're in this hallway, you might recognize it because this is where we use the pizza robot to distract Chica, and then we did all that sort of stuff, but we're going towards the docks. Now Chica can be here, but as long as we're going fast enough, we don't really have to worry about her. And now we can make it outside of this exit, which is going to be 5 out of 6. And this one we get a car, so that's pretty cool. So finally, it is time to do the Afton ending, but this one we're not going to be able to do it quite as fast because we have to deal with Chica first. And to do that, first of all, we got to get the Bonnie bits or something like that. I forget what they're called. We'll see in a second. Anyways, we're going over to Bonnie Bowl. And since we got the bowling pass over when we got the Phaser Blast, we can use that pass right there. We just got to make sure these robots don't attack me. Please, dude, stop dancing. Let me go through the elevator. Now we're in Bonnie Bowl and we just have to run through here. We're going to take this left path over there. And once we're in here, there aren't many robots, but Freddy's like, hey, did you read that message? There's Monty Mystery Mix behind here. Which I guess that's what it's called. Unfortunately, not Bonnie Mix or whatever I was calling it, but we just want to go straight through here. There is one really creepy figure thing. Don't know what that was, but we just want to head up here, try to jump on these. It took me way too long, and open up that, which is going to give us Monty Mystery Mix. So now just time to head out. That's all we had to do here. There are going to be these robots again, though, for I think the last time. No, actually, there's one more place they'll be, but the ones that chase after you when you aren't looking backwards. But we can just make it out of there. Don't have to deal with them. And we are now officially 2 hours in the speed run. Only a little bit longer to go, but it's time for part of the speed run, which I'm pretty worried about. The Chica part, kind of scary. We should be fine, but I do not want things to go badly here. And I've definitely lost runs to this part before, so we're going to hope it goes well. We are so close to the deathless run. This is all we have to do. But of course, before we get there, we are going to save. And we're going back to the same place we did before to get the car ending. But instead of going out that exit, this time we're taking care of Chica. So we're going to come into this kitchen, go into this door, and turn on this generator. Then we just have to make sure we don't get caught by anyone. So I will be kind of careful about this because Chica will be in these hallways. And we can just head over here, place the Monty Mystery Mix, and press this button, which is going to start a cutscene. So Chica's like, oh my gosh, that looks so tasty. So she's going to see the Monty Mystery Mix and she's going to start chowing down. Now here's where we're going to try to press the trash button, but unfortunately there's something holding it up so it doesn't go down. And she also tries to look at us, but she also doesn't see us, so we're fine. But here's where Gregory's like, all right, I just got to do it. So he pushes Chica into there. She's like, dude, what are you doing? And then she gets smashed. But Chica is not done yet. She's still alive. So she's going to look up at us, be like, I'ma eat ya, and then get smashed for the second time because we hit her, take off her beak, smash her down, and there she goes. But she is also going to drag us down with her all the way into the trash chute. So yeah, we're going here. But you know, it's not the worst thing in the world because at least now we got a new voice box. But we do have to make it out of the sewers, which is going to take a little while because we have to turn on 3 generators. Now this part isn't too bad. Basically what we have to do every time we turn on a generator, Chica's going to spawn near it. So we just have to save our fast cam for those parts and use it on her so then we can escape afterwards. Now there's going to be this first generator right there, and you can see that Chica now spawns right behind us. We use our fast cam. See you later, Chica. And we can just head the same way we came over here with, head over to the right, and now we can actually open this door. Now here's a part where I have lost runs to before. Just not being careful on this part. So we will be careful here because I do not want to lose this run. And now we can make it straight through there, go into these sewer parts. There is save points that we can't use. It would be really nice if I could use these save points, would make me feel a lot safer. But now we have to go over to the left and we have to follow this green wire. That is going to be the place we go. We pass over this place, take a left path, and we're basically just running straight through because we already know where the generator is going to be. So we'll just keep going on our way until we get this one. And of course, Chica's going to spawn nearby us. So I do want to be kind of careful, but she's not too close to us. She's just kind of close. I believe she's always going to be right there. So we just flash her. See you later, Chica. Easy. And that is going to be our second generator. So now we can open that door. And now we only have one more generator. So we're going to head up through here, go up these stairs, and we see another one of these wires. How did that guy not see me? I have no idea. Okay, you know, we're gonna take it. We're not gonna worry about it. But anyways, now we're just heading through this area. Finally, we get a nice open area, which feels pretty good. And we'll see Chica right there. We'll flash her. Then we go to the generator, turn that one on, and that's all 3 generators. So at this point, all we gotta do is run past this spot. There is gonna be another Vanny encounter where she's like, oh, I'm right there. We'll see her eyes for a second just because I want to. But that is gonna be pretty much the last time we see Vanny, I believe, because she is very slow. And we can just run through here, see this really weird room. We're not gonna worry about what lore implications that has, but we make it to the top. We can open up this gate, and finally we are done with that part. This feels so good. We should be able to get the deathless run. Now we go through, oh wait, that is not the place I want to go through. We go to this part over to the exit. You'll remember we actually came here earlier when we got the white woman jump scare, and we can head through that exit. This time we actually won't get jump scared by a white woman. Now we can go through this door, and yeah, we're pretty much just making it out. I have no idea where Chica is. I don't want to know where Chica is. All I know is we're going through this elevator and back up it. So now we only need to upgrade Freddy one last time. But before we do this, I'm gonna play it safe. It has been a deathless run, but this one is really easy to mess up the upgrade, so I will save. Then of course, like usual, we're going back to the stage. We press the button in the middle, make it down here, back to the repair place, and finally, it's time for the voice box upgrade. Now what we want to do for this, first of all, we're opening up his chest, but we are gonna wait until the guy completely stops talking, just like usual. I do not want to lose this run, and we're just doing exactly what he says. And this one by far is the hardest one. You have to like separate your eyes and look everywhere at the same time. Like, it is so hard to get this pattern right, but that was a pretty easy start. I will take that. Then we wait for these. We can see that. That's also pretty easy. So thank you, game. I appreciate that. Then we can take out the voice box, place the new one in. Now we'll see for this one, it's going to be over there. Kind of a weird pattern. I'll take it. And then it is going to be that, which is just these all in a row. That's going to be our next one. We can place back the chest part. He's looking spiffy. And all we have to do at this point, just do our testing. I also really like this testing because you can hear Freddy like balking like Chica. Here, listen to it. It's pretty great. You know, he sounded great. But this one, not too hard of one. It's not nearly as extensive as Roxy's one. I believe this one only goes to 5 instead of 6. So we can just do these ones and that should be good to go. All right, looks good. And that is our last upgrade, which this time Freddy's like, I already know this was Chica's. What are you doing, man? But Freddy, I got to do what I got to do. I got to finish this speed run. And we might as well hurt Freddy a little bit. I love how I went, why the... I'm sorry, Freddy. But okay, all that's done, and now it's time to go to Roxy Raceway. So we're gonna go back towards where we got the head earlier, but this time we're going into this door. This is gonna be a restricted area. We don't really care. And the game checks that you have completed everything by having gates where, first of all, you need to use Monty's claws to get through, and second of all, you need Chica's voice box. I don't know why they would like cut off these sections by using those things, but whatever. It's time to go in the elevator. Now, the nice thing about this elevator is it does count as a save point, but hopefully we won't need to use it because we are still deathless. All we have is the last boss fight. So to start out, what we have to do is turn on all of these generators. We can get the first one. There's the second one. Third generator is going to be right over here. But now we see these guys again. Thankfully, we do have the guns so we can shoot them in the face and that will stun them for a second. But I always want to make sure they're not coming too much towards me because these guys are fast. So I will shoot both of them. Turn on that generator and we should be okay. I'm gonna go through here. I tried to use my fast cam there, but it didn't come out, but it doesn't matter. We didn't get caught. Now we can come through here, turn on these 2 generators, which allows us to use this machine to go in and get Freddy. Now we can hop out of there and it is time to use Freddy to come all the way down here. And it is now 6 a.m. I don't know how we did all of this stuff in like 5 minutes. That's kind of what that time means, but whatever. We now collapse through this floor. Freddy's like, oh, I recognize this place. And I'm sure you do, buddy. But it is time to end this speed run. So here's where we see Afton, or I think that's, I don't really know the lore, but we see someone and he's like, oh yeah, I'm gonna kill you. do? He's going to stun Freddy and basically try to take over Freddy's body. And actually, it's not Afton, it's Burn Trap. Whatever, it doesn't really matter. What we're gonna do is we're gonna use fire every time he tries to take over Freddy's body to stop him. And we have to hit him with fire 8 different times. Now, the thing about this fight is it takes forever. So there are other things we have to worry about, like Chica. We can see her in the hallway. We can go check her out, and then we're gonna close this door, so we block her off. And while one animatronic is coming at you, no other animatronics can. So we can just wait here until Chica finally stops pounding on the door. We'll also see that Burn Trap's over there. Freddy is getting attacked, so we can use some more fire. That's number 2. And also Chica's leaving, so that means we can open up that door. Next up, it's going to be Monty going through the vents, which is kind of funny. He's just crawling through there, so we're gonna close that. And we'll see Burn Trap's trying to do his thing, so we're gonna burn him. But now it is time for Roxy to come. So the plan for Roxy is to sit in this corner behind this bed. Basically, she's gonna run all over the place, but she can never actually get us if we're behind the bed. And I mean, the game does tell us to hide, so it's kind of what's intended. But she will never actually leave. What you're supposed to do is use Chica's voice box on her, but apparently, according to my Twitch chat, that only has a 50% chance of working, so it's just not worth trying it. Instead, we'll just have fun with Roxy. She's running around, you know, having a good time. And anytime we see that Burn Trap's doing his thing, I want to wait and hope that Roxy isn't attacking, but we'll just go through. Roxy, you're being a little annoying. We'll go and press that button, then go back to our bed spot. And thankfully, we should be fine. At this point, she is now going to start coming at us and just kind of sitting here. Yeah, she cannot get us in this point, and this is the rest of the run. So yeah, we just sit here for a really long time. And every time Burn Trap does his thing, we press the button and continue this for 8 times. I'm just going to skip ahead. Finally, after all 8 of those times, we're going to get our ending cutscene, and that's going to be time, which is going to be a 2:22:40. And that's going to give us 2nd place on speedrun.com, so I'll take it. All right, subscribe if you enjoyed. Bye.